The brachial plexus that innervates the upper limb is formed by the C5, 6, 7, 8 and T1 ventral rami. These are also known as the roots of the brachial plexus. Be careful not to confuse them with the ventral and dorsal roots of the spinal nerves. The first part of the brachial plexus is known as the trunks, and these are formed when the C5 and C6 ventral rami come together to form the superior trunk. The C8 and T1 ventral rami come together to form the inferior or lower trunk, and the C7 ventral ramus stays by itself to form the middle trunk. Each of the trunks then divides into a posterior and an anterior division. If we look at the posterior divisions to begin with, the three posterior divisions, one coming from each trunk, unite to form what is known as the posterior cord. And this travels behind the second part of the subclavian artery, which is how it gets its name, posterior cord, and eventually divides into the radial nerve, which is the largest of the nerves coming from the brachial plexus, and the axillary nerve. The nerves that arise from the posterior divisions and the posterior cord innervate the muscles at the posterior aspect of the arm and the forearm. These are the extensor muscles supplied by the radial nerve, and the axillary nerve supplies lateral muscles of the arm, including the deltoid and the teres minor muscles. The anterior divisions of the brachial plexus come together to form the medial and lateral cords. They do this by the anterior divisions of the superior and middle trunks uniting to form the lateral cord of the brachial plexus, and the anterior division of the inferior trunk stays by itself to form the medial cord. And these are named because of their lateral and medial relationships to the second part of the subclavian artery. The lateral cord gives rise to the musculocutaneous nerve, which is supplying the anterior muscles of the arm. The medial cord gives rise to the ulnar nerve, which is supplying anterior muscles of the forearm and the hand. The final major nerve formed comes from a branch from both the lateral and medial cords. These branches unite to form the median nerve, which also supplies muscles in the anterior aspect of the forearm and hand.